Hi, today I'm going to show you the account settings for Google Ads. We're finally getting to dive into the Google Ads account that we're going to create from scratch. Before that, in the first part of this video, I will show you the last updates I made on my website so that it's ready to advertise for it. So let me share my screen. 1, 2, 3. I added a couple of things. Still really simple, but I created an about page with relevant information, and I added a privacy policy to meet with the Google Ads requirements. I added a lead form to capture interested people who want to try our services or want to learn more. So it's expert expat. This is for me really a new step in my entrepreneurial journey because it's my first business that's not about me. So it's a real business where I let other people shine, and I can work on this business instead of in the business as I was doing as a freelancer and in agency mode as well. I was always very involved, and with this new agency, I try to get less involved myself and enable great people to service the clients. So it's a new step, and it's just evolving on the way. That's why it's a nice sample to use. A new project, just like you may have a new project you want to advertise for. A standard WordPress page, and I added a lead form, and I integrated a Calendly thing, what's it called, a widget, where you can schedule an appointment right away, or you can leave a message. So below that, I added a couple of must-haves for a landing page, reviews from previous clients, enough text to give the search engines to chew on, association with well-known partners, in bullet points, more details, our services, couple of call to actions that nicely just go back to the form. It's a typical one-pager I created myself in no time. Contact details as well, important for credibility, some of the certifications, and more call to actions. So what happens after this? When I fill in my details, this should go to a confirmation page. So let's have a look if that's going to work. And no email. Oh yeah, this the specific plugin has the website line as a pro version feature, but I was able to add a simple column. So even if I write the website wrong, for example, I leave a typo like this, still it will stay there displayed. So what do I want? Get me leads. Submit. I did click, right? Nice when things don't work in a live situation. So we have to figure out what happened here. So the idea is that when I click submit, it will get forwarded to a... Let me show you here the plugins that I set up. And I try to keep it as simple as possible, lightweight. I use the classic editor so that I'm able to use direct HTML edits in the forms, so that they have more control over the code that behind the site. And Elementor is the page builder I use to create the front page. Jetpack, that's a WordPress thing. I use WP code Lite to insert tracking code, and what code I inserted there. And the WP forms I used to create this nice lead form, which is not working. So shout out to WP forms. It was working yesterday, so must be something fixable. I set it up the other day and tested it. So what's happening? I have my simple contact form. Here you see the stuff, the fields. I only added the website as an extra field, and with that it should work. So in some place, settings, I guess, I set up that it should send me to a page. Exactly, confirmation show page. That is the page that it should go to, and this should go to my content page. All looks perfectly well. So why would it not work? Maybe they didn't like my fake email. It's not working when I'm logged in. Okay. Again. So no reply at my email. Yes, perfectly. Whatever website. Get me leads. Okay. Again. Submit. That perfectly well goes to the end page. We just witnessed a glitch in the matrix. This is my thank you page. I just use this contact page as a thank you page and two different options, three actually. Go visit the Upwork agency profile or schedule a meeting. Anyway, this is another second attempt to get a meeting scheduled. So yeah, you pick your date and so forth. You choose the day and then you do that, and then automatically the meeting gets scheduled. I'm sure you've seen this before. The next thing we have now is that we have a confirmation page, which is not directly visible from the menu. Still getting indexed. I need to add Yoast SEO so that I can set it to no index. But to get started, I just want to have a landing page. As soon as somebody leaves his details, we get to a confirmation page. It's not perfect yet. In some cases, it may be better to have only one call to action, only the scheduling form or only the contact form. And I didn't want to use the scheduling form only because for that one, I don't have a thank you page. That is a paid feature of currently, and we're just starting out with this. So I want to keep things simple as possible and have the possibility of a thank you page. So that's what we have right now. And let's go back to the back end of the site to explain again how I set this up. After installing WordPress, you can choose the theme. The new 2024 theme came out early this year. Didn't try that yet. So you can go with one of the default WordPress themes. I like 2016 a lot. It's just very simple. These ones have features. They're not that out of the box working right away. I don't like that. Astra is lightweight, working out of the box. So I like that. Simple theme. I created, again, I use Elementor as a page builder plugin to create the specific landing page where you can drag and drop elements to make it look nice. The form generator, the codes. So let's look at the codes. Why the codes? We need to be able to insert tracking code so that we can report in our Google Analytics. We have code snippets, and there in the header and footer section, here I inserted a Google Tag Manager. Google Tag Manager is the platform we use to manage all these tracking pixels, tracking tags. So one time you insert Google Tag Manager, and after that, there you manage all this tracking, whatever advertising platform you use. You can insert the tracking code later on in your Google Tag Manager, and you don't have to. These dogs are making me crazy. And you just insert this one time, and see, once you get to work with this. To me, it's fairly simple, but I remember that it was quite overwhelming to get started with this. So I can understand. This is the Google Tag Manager. Panic in the hood, and the garbage man, they found a snake on our porch, and they insisted they cut the head off. People are very scared of snakes. Even though I'm pretty sure this species was harmful, they're panicking when they see snake. I get used to see all kind of wildlife in and around our house. I used to be afraid of spiders when I was younger, but now we're living together with tarantulas, and I couldn't give less. So yeah. a small snake. It was not small, it was actually pretty big, but I think it's like 1 meter. I think it's was not harmful. They killed it anyway. These animals they seek for refuge around our house because we keep it moist to keep the plants alive. It is very dry. There hasn't been rain for weeks, so it's logic that they look for shelter around the house. Yeah, probably need to cut out some part after this. Let's continue. Yeah, we're looking at the Google Tag Manager container. It works with tags and triggers. Tags are the basic code snippets you use to connect your site with other platforms. In this case, I already installed a base tag for Google Analytics 4, which is a Google tag. And the only thing it does, it's as soon as somebody views one of your web pages, it sends a signal to the corresponding Google Analytics property that somebody saw the page. In Google Analytics, that looks like this. So in this case, the trigger was the page view. So something happens, a trigger, somebody watches a page, some action comes out of that. A signal gets sent to Google Analytics. That's all it does. And Google Analytics, so Google Analytics is loading. We have one user from Bolivia, because that's me. Yeah, this is how it begins. Now it's an empty, blank slate. Nothing's happening still. But just to show that the tracking is working, I visit the page via the Google tag. It gets registered and the signal gets sent to Google Analytics, and there you see the visit. Not only we want to measure the page visits, we want to measure the actions that people take on the site. So we need to add something in Google Tag Manager. Before to start advertising, better to have this set up. I'm going to create a new tag and first to send it just to Google Analytics. We're not have it yet set up in Google Ads. I'm going to call this the lead tag. This is measuring the lead forms. That a better way, maybe the contact lead. This is a contact lead. This is a contact lead. Yeah. Be consistent in your naming. That is important from the start. So this is Google Analytics. This will be a Google Analytics event. Measurement ID. Why is it not already loaded? I do have my base tag set up right. Contact. These interfaces are changing all the time. Maybe it's better to use Google Analytics does have some specific event names recommend to use. So let's look up what would be their recommended name for an event. We already have a list. Generate lead. Yeah, it's not as specific as I wanted, but let's stay with generate lead to the pre-cooked settings. So I need to add my measurement ID probably as a variable, or I can look it up myself. Before it was not required to look it up. That's a little bit strange to me that now it's required. All those little details, they keep coming up as you work on this part of the job. So we're going to look up the measurement ID, the data stream. If you want to know how to set up your Google Analytics account, just Google it. So there's the measurement ID. And yes, there is a Google tag found in this container with the same ID, so that's looking all good. Now we made this connection that will send that a lead was generated as soon as something happens. The something is what we're going to put here in the triggering part. So it will be a specific page view, some page view. So we should do I think it is just contact, right? It's contact. it should send a signal. Saving this. Before to submit this, a quick test to see if all is working fine. Standard procedure. There I have to make some cut. Property. So there is the site, and the debug mode is connected. So yes, continue. Show me. In this Tech Assistant window, you can see that the base tag was fired. So Google Analytics now knows that somebody viewed the page, but there was no lead form filled in yet. Right now, right here, we're going to fill in the lead form to see if the signal gets picked up properly. It has to work now, because if not, I will have to look for another. Is not right. Yes, at gmail.com. Maybe I made a typo before. No, thank you. This time, not sure. My website. Yes. Submit. Hoorah. Boom, boom, boom. Did you see that happening? We arrived on the thank you page, and the generate lead tag got fired. Awesome. In Google Analytics, we can have a quick with working conversion tracking. That will be the starting point to set up Google Ads. Because the same trigger we're going to send to Google Ads. There's two ways to do that. We can import the conversion event from Google Analytics, or we can send the trigger directly as a feedback signal to Google Ads. Typically, the direct method is most accurate because it requires less steps, so there's less data loss if you set up a specific trigger for Google Ads to receive this feedback. You can also use the Google Analytics. Next, we'll see here real-time view. In real time, you can see what happens in real time and or in the past 30 minutes. And as we generated our leads within the past minutes, we should be able to see it here in this overview. There we are. We see the user source that comes from the Tech Assistant, the testing environment. We saw the contact page at some view, so that's okay. And after setting up the lead generation, we receive a first conversion here. The generated lead is getting measured. So awesome, this is working. Based on the desired conversion actions you are seeing inside this Google Analytics, you see the form start automatically gets registered as well, so that's awesome. You can check out the events and select which one do you consider important events. Take into account that there is a 24-hour delay, so we cannot mark the conversion yet as a lead conversion. We cannot mark it yet as such because we generated it for the first time only today. So the only stuff we see here is page views, scroll, session start. Very interested. We're not going to mark that as a conversion. We can do that no more early than tomorrow. But we saw in the real-time view, stuff is working. We're ready to set up Google Ads. and ready to publish the edit we made in Google Tag Manager, because we proven for ourselves that it's working. So then we can submit and sing our favorite song. That is what Google Tag Manager always suggests us to do. So keep track of what you're doing for other people later on. I heard sing like no one is listening. It's going to do that because you are listening. No, you are. That's published. Conversion tracking is set up and working. Now we're heading to Google Ads to set up the account. Just go to ads.google.com and follow the instructions. And then this magical page, or some page very similar to this, will show up on your screen. The business name. Keep it with a space. Looks nice. URL. Copy, paste. Next. Well, let's see what they say about my URL. Maybe they don't like it. Nice. Can link my YouTube channel, merchant account, Google Business Profile. I'm not going to do any of this. I just want to get the account set up as easy as possible. So I know it was possible to skip all this and not even create an ad, but we'll create a basic ad to get started. So nothing like this. Create a simple campaign, and then we'll go from that later. Create this simple campaign, make sure the account is set up, pause the campaign, and then with Calm we will look at all the account settings that are relevant before to really send. Need help? Yeah, you want to put me out of business? No, thank you. Seriously, go ahead and get this help from Google if you can. Take into account their main goal is to empty your pockets, and the expertise of the Google account representatives is varying a lot depending on their expertise and the level where they at. The juniors, they work through third-party agencies. Again, it varies a lot, their knowledge and capabilities to really help you. And as they move up, and if you spend a lot of money on Google Ads, you can get connected with account managers that are much more experienced and can help you much more. And those are based in Dublin. So yeah, it depends. Google also offers help from the tech team to help with the Google Tag Manager part that I just showed you before. So yeah, get all the help that you can, of course, if that is something you want. Okay, what do we want actually now? To get leads. That's the goal. Yes, I want to get leads. Go away. I'm going to chat with any Google Ads expert right now. Yes. I will skip this. No, I will see if my conversion measurement is already picked up for leads, contact requests. It looks like we're entering a smart campaign. I don't want to enter a smart campaign. No, this is terrible. Yeah. We can solve this. We can solve this. We can solve this later on. Looks like we're getting a smart campaign, whether we like it or not. 3 headlines, 2 description. That's okay. They really require the minimum to get started. So one suggestion for creating headlines is just use the headings from your web page. This helps in 2 ways. This helps because it shows relevance with your landing page. Now this is a super, yeah, of course the headlines are only 30 characters. So let's see how we can add this. Stay within the characters. And digital marketing experts, perfect. There, here that picked up already some descriptions. Top grade professionals living abroad, okay. This one can be a basis. Hire the best. Hire the best freelancers. Let's go today. Book a call, but yeah. Good enough for now. We have a little preview. Yes, it's a smart campaign. I don't want a smart campaign. It's okay. It's okay. You will get pulled into this as well, so it's important to realize that. Web, I want them to look for the picture from a website, keep it as easy as possible. Yeah, that's okay. We get a picture. No, we need a logo. Perfect. Done. You see the importance to have something, a website set up to pull this images in. That helps a lot. Now some keywords. I'm going to put only one in. Keyword research is something for another time. So yeah, whatever. That's freelancers for now. Advertise in English. Next. Now we select the region. United Kingdom only. Later on, I will edit geographic targeting. Currency is in Bolivianos. We don't want that. We want US dollar. Where are you? US dollar. Put that low as possible. So I don't want it to run yet. We're just getting the account set up. So targeting, language, budget, they're all asking you this in the steps. Looking good. Some more ad preview. It's just to have something out there. And the payment info. I will stop at this point. So the payment info I will add, and then I will see what this account actually looks like after this initial setup. We were forced to enter a smart campaign. That's not what I want at all, but after this is very, very useful that this happened, because obviously this will happen to many of you as well when you start a new campaign, whether you enter a new campaign from inside Google Maps or Google My Business, or just going to ads.google.com. We were forced to create a smart campaign. That's very limited. In some moments I will finish this setup by adding the payment details, and then we can have a look what the account looks like and what is the next step to get your account really ready to go to start running ads. So for now, this is part one. Next, we will hopefully see what a Google Ads account looks like on the inside. I just added my details and finished the setup, and it's actually pretty good that this happened. I set up a smart campaign, and that I didn't want to do that. That will be the user flow you will be most likely get in as well. So the campaign is active, Laura. It didn't get flagged right away, so I'm glad that didn't happen. Campaign is active, but I don't want to switch to the normal Google Ads interface. So in the settings, I already saw there's the option to switch to expert mode. That's what we're doing right now. I hope it can be done right away. I had done this switch before, and then I had to wait a couple of working days, I recall. So let's see what's happened when we switch to expert mode. Yes, yes, yes. This is starting to look like a Google Ads account. As soon as the page is fully loaded, we'll go over the general settings of your account. This is what a Google Ads account looks like, should look like. No smart campaign, a real Google Ads account. I'm heading over to the campaigns overview. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pause it, because I don't want this to run at all. We have to create a good ad first, and we don't want to run a smart campaign that appears on all kind of places we don't have control over. So the smart campaign, we're going to pause, and the first thing we're going to do in campaign creation is create a search campaign. In general, it's best to pause campaigns or keywords or any elements that you're not going to use anymore. Better choose pause instead of removal, for the simple reason that if you remove it, you lose access to the data, and you cannot undo the effects of the removal. Pausing and activating, that is an easy way to, another lead coming in, pausing and activating campaigns, that is an easy way to undo mistakes in case you make them, and you're going to make them for sure. So we just pause the campaign, and then it's there for future reference, and then later on we can, with the plus, we can create a new campaign. This is something I'm not going to do right now. This is something for the next video. Today I just want to go over the general account settings, which are important to get it right from the beginning. So we're going to account settings. We're at the account settings menu. So you can see the account is active. We have the name. We should add some data protection context for European campaigns. I'm not sure if I'm going to target any European countries, but that is something else. Auto tagging, switch on, that's okay. We just leave this all set in the negative keywords. We will add those on campaign level, not here. Auto apply is turned off. That is important because we want to have full control of everything we do. And we're not going to use lead forms. We're just going to run search ads. Smart bidding, optimization target, customer match list. Yeah, we don't have that yet. So this is all good so far. Anything else to see here? No, I would just leave it like this. We got the account set up. I'm happy with it. It is in expert mode, which is regular mode to me. And yes, of course, there's one thing we can quickly check the conversion tracking because we already prepared that, those conversions. One of the we have all this conversion setting set up because of the smart campaign. You see those are Google hosted. I will just delete all of those. We're not going to use them. We have the contact conversion that we set up through ourselves in the process. That's okay, but it's maybe not in the form that we want. So all this once we're going to remove. Then I hope it's possible to remove. Remove. Why is it not possible to remove? Maybe here. And this overview must be possible to remove. It's already removed. Yes, it is already. It's removed, but it doesn't know it yet. This is so messy with these smart campaigns. They add a lot of stuff that you don't want. Messy. We are going to look for linked accounts. There we're going to link Google Analytics so that we can import the conversion actions that are sent to Google Analytics. Later on, we will also check that it gets sent directly to Google Ads, but first, make sure you get this import done. There we have linked accounts, Google Analytics. I want to share. Yeah, I think I got it linked now. Let's see the confirmation. Yes, it's linked. Apps embed metrics activate. Of course, I want to activate. Why else would I connect it? Then we go to measurement conversions. Still have too many conversions here. Cannot select them. Why is that? Guess we'll just have to ignore the smart conversion goals. Yes, it's locked right here. It's locked. Yes, there it is. This conversion action was created by Google Ads for use with smart campaigns and can't be edited. Yeah. So we'll have to live with this distortion. Never mind. Never mind. Google, if you will see this, fix it to be able to remove smart campaign goals. Now we're going to import from Google Analytics 4. And as you see, by default, the purchase event is there. It's a standard feature. We don't sell anything, so this is not useful at all. I just today created the lead generate conversion event in Google Analytics, and as soon as tomorrow I will be able to import it here. So this is just to show how to do import. You select it, import, continue, and then we'll have another conversion action added to our site. So we can do that tomorrow at the Google Analytics lead generation conversion. The only thing we can do today is check the Google Ads conversion. This one that we created here. See if it is to our likings, and then add it to Google Tag Manager so that it will start to fire. So on a page load, this will fire. Currency, let's do all in dollars. Where are you? For a lead, you can assign let's assign a more realistic value. 3 out of 10 leads, you'll get a client, something like that. This first month client is revenue of 500. Your lead value, if you land 1 out of 10, will be $50. If you would calculate customer lifetime value, the lead value is much higher. But it would be, it's always better if your campaigns are profitable at first contact. So with the first sale, with the first contact, profitable, that is something to strive for. I am going to use the Google Tag Manager to install it myself. It is a Google tag, and there's no Google Tag Manager code available. So this one is not going to work at all. I should not have used it during setup. Setup is just to get the account created. That was a waste of efforts. Never mind. We're going to create it again. Open the Tag Manager on the background and set up the Google tag. All these people in these tutorials always do things to perfection. That's ridiculous. That's not how things go. When you are working, setting up account, things go wrong all the time. Things like this. This is how it really goes. That's why it takes time to manage an account, to set up accounts. So this conversion action was rubbish because I cannot connect it to Google Tag Manager. We'll remove this and go away, and then we'll do it again. We're going to set up a new website conversion. For that, you have to follow a couple of steps. Add the conversion manually. There we go. This would be submit a lead form. primary action, yes, that's okay. And the same naming as in Google Analytics, generate leads. Use the same value, $50. We're going to count 1 per client, each new contact. We'll leave this on standard settings. Data-driven enhanced conversions is something optimization for high volume. We don't touch it right now. Agree. Yes. Google Ads will generate some details about this conversion. I'm going to use Google Tag Manager. The details it provides is a conversion ID and two IDs, a conversion ID and a conversion label. That's two things you need to, two codes you need to insert in Google Tag Manager to make this work. So there we go. Now I have to cut this out so that you don't see all these other accounts. I go to Tag Manager to make a lot of edits. Let's work almost. So we have the thank you page trigger. This helps sending a signal by the GA4 tag to Google Analytics 4, so that we can see there that somebody reached the thank you page. We're importing this conversion event from Google Analytics, but we also want to send it directly to Google Ads. So we're adding a Google Ads tag. We're going to call it the same contact lead tag, but this time the tag is sending information to Google Ads. There we have Google Ads. Google Ads conversion tracking. Sounds about right. Google is pushing us to use of Google tags. Don't know exactly why, but something that's changing. I prefer to use, I get used to use a tag for Google Analytics to send stuff to Google Analytics and a Google Ads tag to send stuff to Google, just as I send signals to LinkedIn and Facebook or whatever you want. But it seems like Google is trying to condense these tags in a single Google tag. That's ongoing developments here. A conversion linker tag, yeah, something standard you have to create, because Google is not able to identify sources of the traffic without this. So this is something we have to add. I think they should just include these things by default. It's necessary for the systems to work, but we added the conversion linker tag. Here is where we paste the conversion ID and the label from Google Ads. To wrap this up, we're going to make the Google Ads conversion work. As you can see my screen again. We have this list of conversions. Let's look at this one, the generate lead conversion. It's a primary conversion, means it's used to optimize the account for. In the automated bidding, we assigned a value to it. It counts as one conversion per client, so that's okay. We leave settings. And to make this work, we have to connect it with Google Tag Manager. By default, this was not an option. We only had Google Tag and to install directly into the website code. That's not what we want. We want to use Google Tag Manager to manage our tags. So actually very glad again that this happened. Setting up a smart campaign and entering conversion by the default setup of Google does not leave us this option. So when setting up a new account, do the minimum possible to get the account working, and then we're going to set up the things the right way using Google Tag Manager in this case. We're looking for a conversion ID and a conversion label to paste into Google Tag Manager. So there we have the conversion ID, there it is, and the conversion label. Two pieces of it's not code, it's just IDs, it's copy paste, really, it's just copy paste. I already did that a few moments ago, but I will show you here. Text that we have now. The conversion linker tag, which is a default thing you have to add anyway. Don't ask me why. And the Google Analytics 4 tag we added earlier, and the Google Ads contact lead tag we are adding just now. Here I pasted the conversion ID and the conversion label. The rest we leave empty, it's not required. And we leave everything standard. The only thing else you need to add is the right trigger. And the trigger we choose is the same thank you page trigger we already used for sending the signal to Google Analytics 4. So this triggers you can basically select from a list of existing triggers. You choose the trigger you want to use and edit here. Save. You can preview to see if the things are working and submit. There's another way to test if it's working. Close the Google Tag Manager, because we saw in the overview of conversions that this one is inactive and nobody left the form filled in since it was generated a couple of minutes ago. So we're going to troubleshoot and we're going to test from within Google Ads. This cut that out again. Connecting to the site from the debugger, the testing interface. Reachable from within Google Ads. Press OK as soon as this one loads. Yes, continue. Then on this tab, we're going to do the desired action, which is filling in the lead form. I figured before earlier it was not working because I did something strange with the email. I left the space and it automatically filled, and then it was not working. So this time I will make sure I will write a normal email as possible for testing purposes. Yes, I have a website. That can help, not at all. Submit. In this case, yes, we're going to our confirmation page. And now this should go green once it's fully loaded. Yes, and here it switched from inactive to no recent conversions. That's okay. I'm happy with that. Means it's active, it's working. Of course, in the test mode, it's not registering a real conversion. That is only happening when somebody real is filling in the form. With that, I'm satisfied for today. Yes, the little green check mark. Generate lead conversion action is sending data. That is how we like it. Means now we are ready to create our first real search ad campaign and use this as our primary conversion action to optimize everything for. In the next video, we'll set up our search campaign.